Today at Deutsche Auto Parts, we're going to be installing wiper blades on a Mark 7 GTI. Okay, so before we get into our install, I want to talk real briefly about wiper blades. The official recommendation as per Volkswagen is to inspect and check the wipers every 10,000 miles and for wear and proper wiping. Obviously, historically, from my experience, what would have happened is it was recommended that once a year replacing the wipers. So really it just boils down to replacing them when you feel like they need to be replaced based on how they're operating on your vehicle. You know, it's one of those things that more often than not, they're often a lot worse than you realize because you don't know how bad they are until you replace them with new ones. So let's get into our install. Okay, so before we actually proceed with installing the wipers, if you take a look at where the windshield wipers are located when they're resting in the normal position, they actually are going to be underneath the hood. So it makes replacing them very difficult. So VW has something called park position on these vehicles, and all you're going to do to set your wipers in park position where they're going to raise up is going to be to turn the key on into the on position, turn it off, and then hit the wiper switch down one time, and then it's going to stick them straight up on the windshield. They're going to stay in place so we can swap our wipers out. Okay, so now that we have our wipers in park position, we have our new wipers here. Obviously, there is a driver's side and a passenger side. The driver's side is going to be the longer one. Passenger side is going to be the shorter one. So these are pretty simple to install. All you're going to do is push down on this button. Now, one really important thing to note, this wiper is metal and this is a spring-loaded arm. So the intention is to pull it back and give you the ability to then work with it. But it's important to know that these are spring-loaded. So if you tap this, eventually you get to a point where it will snap back on the windshield. So what I've seen is plenty of people who go to change wipers, especially people who are new to cars or things like this, and they'll end up breaking their windshield trying to install their wiper. So be really aware that that is a possibility when you're doing this job. While it is simple, it's also very simple to break your windshield. So we're just going to push that button in, and then you kind of wiggle it back and forth until the wipers slide out. Now, same deal with this one. These Vallejo blades, all they're gonna do is slide in place, and real simple. And then you should hear it click in place, and now that one's all installed. Same deal with this other one. And it's kind of good to rock it down a little bit, because that button kind of gets hung up on stuff. So you just rock it in a downward motion like this as you're trying to slide it out, and that makes it a little bit easier. And same kind of when you're installing it, is get it into that groove and then kind of rock it downwards a little bit to make it clip in a little easier. And now you're all set. Thank you so much for watching our Mark 7 wiper blade install video. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more like it.